Good morning. Welcome to lesson 46. Today for me is a particularly beautiful lesson, and I do have a candle lighting for us today as we go through this process. I'm going to give you a moment to maybe get a pen and paper. You might have one beside you, or you might have to go and get one. But I do find it useful doing this lesson. It's the way I've done it in the past. It's not necessary, but if you want to take a moment and just grab one. Hope you're enjoying doing the lessons. And, if at any time you have any questions, please do reach out via my email address, miasarahcoaching@gmail.com, which you have access to. Okay, so let us take a moment with our eyes closed down, entering peacefully into this new day. Let's take a moment this morning to listen to the sounds around us. And then without straining, just extend your listening to outside your room. And then gently releasing the practice of listening. And we will tune into touch. So the sensation of touch. So noticing your arms where they're rested on your body. Notice the sensation of sitting. And anywhere your body is meeting a surface, just notice that. Be present to that. These practices bring us into the present moment. And help us to embody these teachings. And now we'll tuck our chins in and bow our heads down and offer this prayer to the universe. We begin this day in gratitude. We open our hearts and we surrender to love. We ask love to lead the way through the minutes and the hours of this new day. We welcome joy, fun, and abundant prosperity. We recognize that all encounters are wholesome and that all experiences can be met with a peaceful heart that is anchored in the truth. We are one, we are love, and we are free. And we release these words, and so we let it be. Okay, so lesson 46. God is the love in which I forgive. The divine is the love in which I forgive. Source is the love in which I forgive. God does not forgive because God has never condemned. I almost just want to pause here because, this is so alien and so different from, some of the teachings that we may have had growing up. God does not forgive because God has never condemned. So what we call God always knows your innocence, always knows you as love, and nothing less than that. So I'm going to read it once more. God does not forgive because God has never condemned. And there must be condemnation before forgiveness is necessary. Forgiveness is the great need of this world but that is because it is a world of illusions. Those who forgive are thus releasing themselves from illusions, while those who withhold forgiveness are binding themselves to them. As you condemn only yourself, so do you forgive only yourself. So this lesson is a recipe for setting yourself free. Yet, although God does not forgive, God's love is nevertheless the basis of forgiveness. Now remember, you're not separate from God. You are one with God, one with love. Fear condemns, love forgives. Forgiveness thus undoes what fear has produced, returning the mind to the awareness of love or of God. For this reason, forgiveness can truly be called salvation. Because forgiveness brings us freedom, forgiveness brings us peace, and that is salvation. So it is the means by which illusions disappear. So what we are forgiving is that we bought into this world of illusions. Today's exercises require at least 3 full 5-minute practice periods and as many shorter ones as possible. Begin the longer practice periods by repeating today's idea to yourself as usual. Close your eyes as you do so and spend a minute or two in searching your mind for those whom you have not forgiven. It does not matter how much you have not forgiven them. You have forgiven them entirely or not at all. If you are doing the exercise as well, you should have no difficulty in finding a number of people you have not forgiven. It is a safe rule that anyone you do not like is a suitable subject. Mention each one by name and say, God is the love in which I forgive you, and then the person's name. Now, this I like to write down. It's not the direction of the workbook lessons. However, I find it helpful to write down those names. The purpose of the first phase of today's practice periods is to put you in a position to forgive yourself, because, we hold so much against ourselves. After you have applied the idea to all those who have come to mind, tell yourself, God is the love in which I forgive myself. Because we're also bound up in the illusion, or seemingly bound up in the illusion. So we hold things against ourselves, such as that we haven't forgiven others, or that we haven't been able to seemingly let them off the hook, that we feel stuck or we feel caught. So then we're going to devote the remainder of the practice period to adding related ideas such as God is the love in which I love myself. God is the love in which I am blessed. The form of the application may vary considerably, but the central idea should not be lost sight of. So you may say, for example, I cannot be guilty because I am a child of God. I have already been forgiven. No fear is possible in a mind beloved of God. There is no need to attack because love has forgiven me. The practice period should end, however, with repetition of today's idea as originally stated. The shorter practice periods may consist either of a repetition of the idea for today in the original or a related form as you prefer. And be sure, however, to make more specific applications if they are needed. They will be needed at any time during the day when you become aware of any kind of a negative reaction to anyone, present or not, in that event, you will tell them silently, God is the love in which I forgive you. So this is really, really the beginnings of freeing ourselves up, of beginning to have an understanding of what salvation is. And I just love this lesson, and I'm ready for it. So what we're going to do is just gently close our eyes down. And we're going to search our mind for a minute or two, just allowing people, they'll already be coming into your awareness. That's what usually happens. And remember, we're not going to exclude anybody that pops up. We're not going to put them aside or park them. We're going to lean right into this. And you're going to name them. And if you do have your pen and paper, you can write their names down if you wish. So let's go to this part first. So close your eyes down, search your mind. God is the love in which I forgive, and then blank, whatever names are coming. And then we're going to tell ourselves, God is the love in which I forgive myself. Or the divine is the love in which I forgive myself. And then related ideas. So you could say, I am free. I am love. Because I am one with God. And some examples are, I cannot be guilty because I'm a child of God. I am innocent because I am a child of God. No fear is possible in a mind beloved of God. There is nothing to defend because I am love. Let's take a silent moment or two, allowing ones to naturally arise within you. When you're ready, gently opening your eyes. Okay. So what I'd like you to realize, I suppose, is that we're being invited to see this world as an illusion. So, almost like a play. Shakespeare said, and all the world is stage and we the players on it. And beneath this illusion, you are love, I am love, and everyone we encounter is love. However, they're all playing out a part in a play. And forgiveness is that we bought into the play, that we thought the play was real. So anyone you encounter today, anyone at all, if they bug you in any way or you have any judgment, you're going to say, God is the love in which I forgive you. You could say, God is the love in which I see you. God is the love in which I get to understand. The forgiveness is, it's kind of giving beforehand. It's giving over to the fact that everyone is love. And forgiveness, it doesn't mean that you have to hang out with people maybe whose personalities are challenging for you, but it means that you don't have the ick, as my kids would say. You don't have that contraction. You don't have that congestion in your body, you know? So enjoy practicing this lesson. It really is a special one. It's a big door opener, as far as I'm concerned, opening to that door of love. And so I'll leave you with it from my heart to yours. Have a gorgeous day.